This video is sponsored by Edukaji. For more free SPM video, log on to Edukaji site. The link is in the description below. Hi guys, my name is Henry. In this video, I'm going to go through the SPM 2022 Add Math paper. This is paper 1. So let's begin with question number 1. This is Form 4, Chapter 1, Function, right? So diagram shows the mapping of function f such that p is a constant. State the object which has no image. Okay, now when we say object which has no image, right, is the case where your x value, when you sub inside, the whole function becomes undefined. Now this happens for what we call rational function. Rational function is a function, the word rational means fraction, a function that can write in the form of ratio. So here you have a fraction with denominator involving x. So when your denominator involving x, right, your x can't be 0 because any number divided by 0, sorry, should I say the denominator cannot be 0 because any number divided by 0 is undefined. So here you have 6 minus x. You let it be 0. You let it be 0 because when your denominator is 0, the whole thing becomes infinity, undefined. So what is your x value? Your x is 6. That's about it. Yeah, the object which has no image is just 6. Okay, very simple. All right, second one. Find the value p. Okay, so to find the value p, we have to use this pair of information, the object and image. This is your object, your x value. This is the image, which is your y value or your fx value. So we can write this as f2 equals to 9. Now, when I substitute x with 2, so it's 3b over 6 minus 2, the result is 9. What are we finding? We are finding for b. So let's do it very slowly. 3b over 4 equals to 9. Right? I want to find p, right? 4 goes up, 3 goes down. Okay, you don't need to use a calculator, right? 9 divided by 3 is 3. Cut. So p is what? P is just 4 times 3, which is 12. Question number 2. Express p in terms of k. Right. This one is from Form 4, Chapter 4. Indices and logarithm. So very simple. The first one, right? If you want p in terms of k, you need to change everything to the same base. So here we have x power 2k plus p equals 1. Now remember, anything power 0 equals to 1. So here we write x power 0. So we can now compare. If they have the same base, we compare the power. We say 2k plus p equals 0. Make p as a subject. P is minus 2k. There you go. You got your p in terms of k. Yeah, pretty straightforward. Now, second one, you have different base. Your base is a. So I think the left-hand side, you cannot do anything. A power p, we leave it as it is. But the right-hand side, right? Number one, root. I hope you all know this. N root of a is a power 1 over n. So we can change this to a power 1 over k and the entire thing power 6. So what I need to do is to first multiply together, and you all know this basic multiplication. When you take a power m power n, the result is a power m times n. So on the right hand side, you can write this as a power 6 over k, and by comparison, we got p equals to 6 over k. Yeah, there you go. P in terms of k. Right. So first part still okay. Now let's look at part B. So in part B, you're given that 3 plus 3 power y over 3 with a bracket 2x plus 1 equals to 84. So here's a trick question. They try to trick student into performing operation on this. So remember, if you have whatever power, let's say 3 power n plus 3 power n, can we do anything with this? Can we add them? No, because they don't have the same term. Okay, remember, like x squared plus x squared, can we add them? Yes, exactly the same base and the same power. If they have the same base but different power, can we add them? No, right? Some so-called weaker students who, if you have bad fundamental in algebra, in indices, then they tend to go and perform operation like this. So what you want to do is you want to throw the 3 to the right hand side. 84 can minus 3. gives us 81. At the same time, okay, maybe I expand this bracket first. 3 power y divided by 3 power 2x plus 2. The result equals to 84 minus 3, 81. Okay, let's move out a bit. Now, when you divide, remember in laws of indices, if you divide the number, we minus the power. So here we have 3 power y. You need to minus 2x and you minus 2. You're subtracting 2x and 2 at the same time. And 81 is 3 power 4. Okay, so by comparison, we now have the same base. We compare the power. We know that y minus 2x minus 2 is now 4. We're finding y in terms of x. So we'll throw everything to the right. Your y will be 2x plus 4 plus 2, which is 6. So y is now 2x plus 6. Derive log a mn equals to log base a m plus log base a n. Right. So derivation, you all need to know how to do this. We start off by letting I will let a power b equals to m. You can use other symbol, but because we have to use a, we have to use m. The power I use b. Right? You want to use other symbol like x and y also can. Now, when I write a power b equals m, when you change to logarithm form, right, we write log. What's your base? Your base is a. What's your number? M. What's your power? B. I hope you know how to change from index form to logarithm form. Right? At the same time, I let a power q becomes n. Right? Now I know some people may find that, well, how do I know I have to let this becomes a power b becomes n? You can do it the other way around. As in, you can write, okay, is it better if I write this first? Okay, sorry guys, I changed a little bit the sequence because you need to start from here, this one. You may want to let log base am equals to b, right? And then log base an equals to q, also can. And then we convert from logarithm form to index form. That is, a power p is now m. This one will be what? A power q equals to n. Okay, now next, we're going to use the law of indices. We know these two we can multiply together, right? We can say a power p, when you times with a power q, what do you get? You get m times n, right? So a power p plus q is just mn. Okay, this is still index form, right? Now I'm going to change to logarithm form. Okay, how do we change to logarithm form? We write log base a. What's the number? mn. What's your power? p plus q. So what's your p? Everybody, your p is this. Log base a m. What's your q? Log base a n. So I'm going to sub inside. Therefore, this is log base a n plus log base a n. There you go. Just write this down one more time. You derive this formula already. See? 3 max. So you just have to do it like once, twice, then you remember it. Right? So yeah, do a couple of times, you get good at this. Then it's just the same thing over and over again. Now, next. Hence, find the value if these two add together equals to 2. So here we're going to use the result from part A. That is the formula for addition, yeah, for logarithm. So we expand, we combine it, right? This is plus, combine becomes multiply, log base u plus 3, plus becomes multiply u minus 1. The result is 2. So we're going to write u plus 3, u minus 1 equals to u power 2. Now, how do I go from here to here, guys? I'm changing from logarithm form to index form. Same thing, right? Like log a y equals to x. Y is a power x. Your y is this entire thing. Your a is a base, which is u. The power is now 2. Okay? Now, next, what I want to do is I want to expand and solve for u. Expand the bracket. U squared plus minus 1 plus 3 is 2u minus 3 equals to u squared. Cancel u square and u square. 2u is 3. U is therefore 3 over 2. Okay, let's move on to question number 4. This question has two parts. Part A is differentiation from 5 chapter 2. Part B is integration from 5 chapter 3. Okay, so let's begin. Faye buys a block of cut ice cube. On the journey back home, the ice melt at this rate per minute. Determine the rate of change of the side length of the ice at the instant the side length is 15. Okay, so imagine it's a cube, ice cube, right? What is the length of side? Now we may have to use a symbol. Now the common symbol we use is x, right? So let's identify what you're given. You're given, what does this 5.5 represent? Ice melt at this rate. So if sometimes you don't know what is it, look at the unit. What is this? cm cube. Cm cube means what? Volume. So the rate of reduction of your volume is 5.5. Remember, you got to put a negative. Why? The volume is reducing. If you don't put a negative, it's wrong. Yeah, your rate is negative when it's reducing, positive when it's increasing. Okay, now what are we finding? So that for me, when it comes to solving a rate of change question, I always start by writing down the rate that you're given, which is this, dv dt. Number 2, write down the rate that you're finding. What are you finding? Rate of change of the side length. Side length is x, so it's dx dt. Number 2, write down the rate that you're finding. Number 3, you're going to use the chain rule and link them together. Now, how does chain rule work? You break up your dx and dt. And I add in a variable. The variable here is dv. You must put the same thing, so that if you were to cancel, not that you have to cancel, but if you were to cancel, you get back the same dv dt, right? Now, your dv dt is negative 5.5. Yeah? Sorry, you get the same dx dt, not dv dt. Dx is on the left-hand side. Now, this dx dv I have to find. How do you find this one? You go back to the shape here. We know volume of a cube is x cubed. So we have to do what? Differentiate dv dx. So bring the power down, copy x, reduce the power by 1. Now then what do? You substitute x with what? Your x is 15. What is 15 squared? 225. Correct. 225 times 3. What is 225 times 3? 6, 7, 5. Correct? Now, what are we finding? We're finding dx dt. Can we take this and subside? Now, understand this. When you get dv dx equals to 675, what does that mean? That means when your x value increased by 1 unit, your v value increased by 675 unit. So be right. But when you do dx dv, what does it mean? It's reverse. That means when your volume increase by 1 unit, your length of side only increased by 1 over 675 unit. It's just the other way around, right? A fraction of it. So we're going to take this and sub inside. Therefore, my dx dt is dx dv. You're going to put 1 over 675 multiply with negative 5.5. Just use your calculator. Sorry, I'm going to use my calculator here. I'm using this calculator. So 1 over 675 multiply the negative. I'm not typing in my calculator, so it's this number. Wait, very small value. Negative. One thing you got to be careful. This question a bit tricky. When you get this number, this represent what? Okay, maybe I leave in this one first. What is this? 11 over 1350. Okay, let's look at the unit. This is 5.5 cm cube per what? Look at this again. This question is trying to trick student. Per minute. Right? Whereas the side length is changing at the rate of per second. So here's the problem. We cannot use the same, they're not the same unit. So either we change everything to minute, alright, okay? Because the question says, determine the rate of change in per second. This is still per minute, right? So maybe I write here first. What is the unit here? cm per minute. This is per minute. Per minute we can write slash minute. How do you convert to per second? Do you times or do you divide? 1 minute, how many seconds? 60 seconds, right? So is it bigger or smaller? Per minute is bigger, right? Per second is smaller, right? So if you want to convert to per second, you have to divide by 60, or you can times 1/60, right? So calculator, there's a negative here, sorry, add in a negative here. So we take this number, divide by 60, the number is very, very small, 11/8100, yeah, 81,000. You change the decimal, wait, did I make a mistake here? It looks, yeah, really, really small. Can we change the standard form? Right, this is really small, cm per second. If you change the standard form, right, you can press shift eng like this, but you got to add one more, so it's times 10 power negative 4. Yeah, if you don't believe me, you can look at, you can use your calculator this way. Shift menu, you go to 7 for scientific, you choose how many decimal point, put 9 you press equals, it will change for you. Oh, wait, did I just, okay, I think I accidentally do one more time, 11/81000, press one more time, you see this? There. Yeah, this is converting to standard form. Yeah, you don't really need to use a calculator to convert. -1.358, -1.358 times 10 power negative 4 cm per second. So yeah, the, how do I say, the bad part of it is that they try to trick you with the unit, right? One is per minute, one is per second. So be careful, please take note of that. Right. Okay, let's move on to the second part. Coming back to this question again, alternately, right, if you find the unit is like you're not sure whether you're going to divide and all that, right? So maybe perhaps you can divide by 60 first, because this is the rate per minute. You got to convert per second, because what you're finding is per second. So alternately, you can divide this 5.5 with 60 first. That's why you can add in over 60 here. Then you can arrive at this answer straight away. So this is an alternative. So for those who are not sure why we should divide and not times, because per minute is actually, should I say, this value is bigger, right, in 1 minute. If you want to convert to per second, you got to divide by 60 to make it smaller, right? Okay, moving on to part B. This is Form 5, Chapter 2, like I said, Chapter 3, integration. So please don't go and differentiate. Because some people look at this, it's really differentiate. Then they try to use the result to integrate. No need. It's only 3 marks. We want to use the result. Now, the idea is this. Today, if I ask you to differentiate the rate function, you will get the green function. The green function is gx. Differentiation and integration, they're opposite of each other. So when I integrate gx, which is the green one, you get back your fx. Fx is the red one, plus c. Yeah, you get the red one. So, but I want to use this result to find this. So let us just break it up. Okay, let me just break this up first. Take out 2, integrate gx dx, break up 3 dx. Now, you may be able to do one more step. Break up the gx and 3 first, then we take out the 2. Yeah, you can. Now, the integration of gx dx will give us this. So we are going to sub inside. Okay. Then when you integrate 3, what do you get? 3x. Always add a plus c, because when there's no limit, we always have to put a plus c. Now, let's simplify further. 2 times 5 is 10 over 1 minus x squared plus 3x plus c. Moving on to question number 5. This is from 4 chapter 8, vectors. Okay, so coordinate point P and Q are given as such. Given that PQ is a unit vector, remember unit vector is a vector with a magnitude of 1. So they say using vector triangular law. Vector triangular law simply means that if I want to go from P to Q, I must go from P to O followed by O to Q. Yeah, for example, this is P, this is Q. You need to go from P to O, O to Q, right? To get your PQ. That's called vector triangular law. And PO is just negative of OP. And OQ you can write at the back. Well, maybe you put OQ in front, OP at the back, doesn't matter. So I think I'll just write OP first, 2, 3. I'll write in column vector. You can write in IJ form. It doesn't matter. It's not going to affect your final answer. And the question didn't say that you have to write in a specific form. Now, your OQ is Q, 2Q. So let's put it together. Let me write Q in front. Q minus 2, 2Q minus 3. That is your vector PQ. Now, since vector PQ is a unit vector, if it's a unit vector, the magnitude is 1. Magnitude of PQ is 1. So let's take our X component, you square it. Y component, you square it. Put the square over, the result is 1. Let us expand the bracket. You get Q square minus 4Q, sounds like a bad word, plus 4. And then 4Q square minus, this is 2 times 2 times 3. I hope you can do that mentally, right? 12Q, 3 square is 9. The result is 1. So Q square plus 4Q square, that gives us 5Q square. Minus 4Q minus 12Q is minus 16Q. 4 plus 9 is 13. 13 minus 1, that is 12. Okay, so let's double bracket factorize this. Right? Now we take 5 times 12. 5 times 12 is 60. What's the factor of 60? I should use 60 and 1. You don't have to list out all. You can actually see it. Some people, if you're not sure, you can list everything. 20 and 3, somehow 15 and 4, 10 and 6. Actually, there's a 12 and 5. I'll take 10 and 6. Why? 10 plus 6 gives us 16. So to get 10, I will need to put a 2 here. To get 6, I put a 6 here. And both are negative. Now, question say possible values of Q. So you know we don't have to reject. Right? You can reject anyway, right? Some people straight away take the integer value because sometimes we need to take integer value, sometimes not. But in this case, we take both, right? Yeah, there's no value to reject. So 2 answers for Q. All right, moving on. Question number 6. This is Form 4, Chapter 6, Linear Law. So the variable x and y, they are related by this equation, right? Such that p and q are constant. If a graph of y against x is drawn, this curve will pass through this point. Whereas a straight line with a gradient of 1 over 8 is obtained where this graph is 1 over y against 1 over x is drawn. Find p and q. So here we have 2 situations. One before you convert to linear form, another after you convert to linear form. Now, before you convert to linear form, this is a graph with the x and y value. So I hope, do I need to show you this? Do I need to show you working? I just write sub 1 over 2, 6. 1 over 2 minus 6. Sub inside your y. So what is your y now? Your y is negative 6. What is your x? Half. Q times half minus 1. What are we finding? We're finding p and q. Now the problem is this equation has how many unknowns? 2, p and q. So we can't simplify it. You can multiply over first. Okay, let me multiply over. Half times minus 6 is minus 3q. Minus 1 times minus 6 is positive 6. This is half p. You can make p as a subject times over 12 minus 6q. Equation number 1. Right? Leave it. Then next, we need to convert this equation to linear form. How? Question already mentioned, by plotting 1 over y versus 1 over x. Okay, the easiest way to convert this to 1 over y is to do what? Guys, this is y. Y itself means y over 1. So we're going to invert. Invert means we switch the numerator and denominator upside down. So it becomes 1 over y. This one is switched upside down, becomes qx minus 1 over px. Now we need to separate them into 2. How to separate them? We write qx over px minus 1 over px. Okay, so let's break it up to negative 1 over p bracket 1 over x plus q over p. Okay, now guys, remember you need to show clearly this is in y equals mx plus c. So don't be lazy. I do have some students who write q over p minus 1 over px. Please don't write like this. This is not exactly linear form yet. You need to show clearly which one is your m, which one is your x, which one is your c. So your c must be placed last. Your m and x must be separated like this. Okay. Now I usually draw arrow like this, but you don't need to draw. No marks is given for drawing all this arrow. But I'm just telling you, you need to separate your m and your x and you always have to put your C at the back. Yeah, that is important. Arrow not important. Okay. Now, next, what we're going to do is we're going to find out your gradient from your linear form here and compare with the gradient given. The gradient given is 1 over 8. So we say negative 1 over p is 1 over 8. What is your p? Your p is negative 8. Right? Everybody? P is negative 8. Alright, I've got my p. And if I find my q. Let us sub inside equation 1. Yeah, but really make p as a subject, it doesn't matter. We have to rearrange it. 12 minus 6q. Bring the negative 6q to the left. Positive 6q. 12 plus 8 is 20. 20 divided by 6, 10 over 3. Q is 10 over 3. Alright, this is from 5 chapter 1 circular measure. Diagram, given diagram shows sector AOB and COD, right? Inscribed in a circle with center O. Radius of the circle and the radius sector, they are H and K. Radius of the circle is H. Radius of the circle is H. Radius of the sector is K. Can you see? Circle is bigger, sector is smaller. The sector ODP is smaller, right? Okay. The length of arc CP and PD are equal. CP and PD equal arc, right? It is given that perimeter of minor arc AOB is 15.235. Now, when we say minor sector AOB, we are referring to this one. Let me use a red pen. So you can see here, this is the perimeter. And this perimeter equals to this. And area shaded region is this. Okay, area shaded region here, areas are given. Okay, first they say find or state angle COD in terms of height. Okay, where is COD? COD is this whole thing. Now we know this is 240. So what is angle COD? COD in this case is the smaller angle, right? The major angle, the minor angle. With a 360 minus 240, you get 120. Now this 120 is in degree. We need to convert to radian. Remember how to convert to radian? We times with pi divided by 180. So 120 divided by 100, should I think 12 divided by 18 is 2 over 3 pi radian. There you go, only 1 mark. Now B, they say hence, calculate the value of H and K to the nearest integer. Okay, actually you can see that we need to form two equations because there are two information and two unknown we need to solve. The unknown, they are H and K. So let's start with the perimeter of AOB, right? Perimeter minus sector AOB. Perimeter is how many H? Look at the red color one. How many H we have? H on one side, H on another side, 2H plus this up. Now, but before we go and calculate that, I need to find this angle. This angle is half, right? Because these two arcs are equal length. So this angle here and here must be the same. So your DOP, right? Or should I say AOB, right? Angle AOB is half of COD, which is pi over 3 in radian. Okay? Your perimeter is given as 15.235. Your perimeter consists of 2H, H plus H, 2H. As for your arc AB, right, we take H times theta. What's your theta? Pi over 3. Now, we can't use pi, we have to use 3.142 over 3 equals to 15.235. So what is this? This is your S equals to R theta. Your radius is H. Your theta is pi over 3. Yeah, substitute pi with 3.142. So let's add them together. This one you have to use a calculator. Let's take 2 plus 3.142 divide by 3. You should get very ugly number. Man, a lot of decimal here, right? Yeah, okay, sorry, I need to reset my calculator. My calculator is in too many decimal points. So I'll take this answer. Okay, 2 plus 3.142 divide by 3. I got this, a log decimal, 3.0473, 3.0473h equals 15.23h, 235. What's your h? Take 15.235, divide by this answer. H is 4.999. What do you take? You take 5, huh? Yeah? Okay? They say to the nearest integer. You want, you can write the whole thing, 4.999. 4.999 to the nearest integer is 5. Yeah, I'll write here, nearest integer. Okay, now that I've got my h, I'm going to find my k. Okay, you use the area of sector. Your area of sector, shaded region, is 8.376. So you can see this is a concentric sector. We actually take the big sector minus the smaller sector to get this shaded region. You know your h already. The big sector will be, okay, let me write down. Area is 8.376. The big sector is half. What's your radius? 5 squared. What's your theta? Pi over 3. So pi over 3, I can use 3.142 over 3. Then you minus the smaller one, half. What's your radius? K squared. What's your theta? 3.142 over 3 equals 8.376. Okay, let me move this over a little bit. Right. Okay, this might be annoying. You need to put them together. Okay, I'm going to use my calculator. Because the angle in the middle is the same, right? So yes, the angle theta will be the same. This theta and this theta are the same. They are both pi over 3. Yeah, same. They share the same center, right? The angle subtended at the center are the same, so theta will be the same. Okay, can we simplify this? Okay, sorry, I wrote this as 1 over 5. This is 1 over 2. So you can choose to factorize. Okay, factorize mentally. I don't want to type so many things. This is what I do. I take 1 over 2. Okay, maybe I show you in working. 1 over 2, 3.142 over 3. 5 squared is 25, k squared, equals to 8.376. I think this is easier so that I divide directly. So when I use my calculator, I multiply by 3.142, divide by 3. Whatever I'm getting here, which is this, okay, I'm going to take 8.376, I divide by this answer. So I got 15.9949. Yeah, 25 minus k squared is 15.9949. You can think of it as 16, right? Because the final answer, they say nearest integer. Anyway, so let's take 25 minus this answer. Your k square is this, 9.005, right? K square is 9.005. You want to put more also can. Then square root it, answer should be what? 9. Square root 9 is 3, 3.00. Yeah, we just write 3, nearest integer. Okay, question asked for nearest integer. Okay, the number is not nice, but the question is not difficult. I would say it's not difficult. Come on. Question number 8. This is from chapter 5, probability distribution. Okay, this is the second part, the normal distribution. Okay, diagram shows the standard normal distribution graph. On the given diagram, should the region to represent PZ greater equals to A. So PZ greater equals to A, very simple. They say modulus, right? Okay, when you open up the modulus, let me just explain this part. Whenever you open up a modulus, there are two answers, plus, minus. The first one is negative. The second one is positive. When you transfer the negative over, what happened to the symbol? The symbol has to change. The second one, no need to change. So where is z less equals to negative A? This part. Where is z greater equals A? This part. Is this easy or what for 1 mark? Yeah? Alright. Let's talk about the second part. Some of the second part, they are not related to the first part. You can see they are different. Okay, another probability standard normal distribution, right? They say this region, right, this graph is divided into 3 equal parts. State the value k. Okay, so when you divide into 3 different parts, right, we know that this area will be 1 over 3, this area will be 1 over 3, this area should be 1 over 3. So I think the question shouldn't say state, because stating makes it confusing. Stating means you write the answer without working. So actually, you don't need working, but then you need the table. You need to calculate from the table. So how does it work? If this area is 1 over 3, we write P Z more than K equals 1 over 3. Now 1 over 3 is a bit misleading here because we cannot read 1 over 3 from the table. We need to convert to decimal 0.3333. So now I hope you can see my table. Let me share with you with my probability distribution table. Hope you can see, right? Your value 0.33, you're given the probability. You're finding the z value. Where is 0.333? Okay, the closest I've got is 3336. This one. Okay, take a value slightly more than 333. You need to read 0.43. But then I got an extra 3 here. Picture this out, 0.3336. If you take the difference with 3333, there's an extra 3 here. Right? So you need to subtract. Yeah? You need to subtract what? I need to subtract 4. Yeah? Subtract 4. Okay, so we cannot subtract 3 because there's no 3. The closest I get 4. But at the top, when you read it, you read this as 0.431. The z value is 0.431. Okay, so for those who don't quite understand, this is how it works. When your z value is 0.431, this area from 0.431 onwards to positive infinity is 0.3334. 3334 is the closest. We cannot get 3333. Yeah, 1 over 3 is 3333, but the closest we can get is this, which is good enough, 431. Okay, this is one way. Okay, let me just go back to this one. So what's our k? K is 0.431. Second method is by using this calculator. Oh, you can see my calculator. When you're using this scientific calculator, the plus with the latest one, you need to go to menu, go to 7 for distribution, use number 3 for inverse normal, all right, press area 0.3333, and you press equals. Now, the thing is, this calculator read from the left-hand side. Your mathematical table read from the upper tail. This one read from the lower tail on the negative side. Yeah. So that's why you see a negative there. But it doesn't matter. We just take the positive value. And the z value that we can get from the calculator, we need to round off to 3 decimal. Because your table can use 3 decimal. I mean, your table can only do 3. Cannot do more for z value. So answer is what? 0.431, right? Hello? Same, right? Yeah. Using table calculator is the same. All right. That's it for part 1. Part 2, what is the mode? Okay, the mode for part A. Okay, this is a bit confusing with some people. So what do you understand about mode? Mode is what? The data with the what? Highest frequency. Which one has the highest frequency? Look at A. Where's the region A? Region A is here. This is a region A. Which one has the highest frequency? The highest frequency is here. Correct? And what is the value with the highest frequency? Negative k. So what's your mode? Your mode is negative of k. What's k? 0.431. Let's look at question number 9. Given diagram shows a conversation between Nash and Jake Wong. So Nash, read the English version. Please collect the shoe size of your classmate. All right, sir. I know that the data is discrete and variable. Is Nash's statement true? Give your justification. So how do you know whether data is discrete and variable? What is a keyword? Is it true? Answer is yes. Why? What can we talk about? What can you say about shoe sizes? Shoe sizes are what? The keyword is what? Countable. Yeah? Okay, but I know some people argue, there you go, size 7.5. Is 7.5 countable? Well, I mean, depending on we use Euro or US, and right, yeah, or UK, right? So generally shoe size are countable, size 7, size 8, size 9. Okay, so it is a discrete random variable, not a continuous. Remember, opposite of discrete is continuous. Continuous means the data are measurable and they are given in a range. Yeah, whereas discrete take a specific value, as exact value. Right, now let's move on to part B. In the shooting competition, D5 N shot and P is the chance that he's shot hits the target, but Q is the otherwise chance. Okay, I would like to say Q is a probability that he didn't hit the target, right? To be exact. So the chance, I would say the better word to use is probability. The probability that his shot hits the target at most once is 11 times the chances of the probability of not hitting the target. Okay, so can we write like this? The probability to hit the target at most once is 11 times the probability of not hitting the target. So imagine this, everybody. He hits the target like this. Hit, miss, hit, miss, hit, miss. There are a lot of chances, right? A lot of possibility, right? He miss, and so on, right? So many, right? So we want to find, we want to show that n times 1 minus q is 10q. So when we say at most once is what? 0 and 1 plus together. Okay, this is 11 times of px equals 0. So I'm going to transfer this over to the right hand side. Yeah, so when you bring over to the right hand side, this is px equals to 1. This is 10 times of px equals to 0. Okay, next we're going to use a formula. So what is the formula here? NC1. Okay, remember, for those who are unsure, px equals x or px equals r is ncx, p power x, q power n minus x. We can use x, we can use r, doesn't matter. So what's your p probability? I don't know. Power 1. What's your q? N minus 1. This is 10 times of nc0, p power 0, q power n minus 0. Okay, I hope you all know nc0 is what? What is nc0? nc0 is what? Yeah, it doesn't matter. You're not sure, use your calculator. It doesn't matter whatever value of n. You can say 100 C0 is what? It's still 1, right? But if you see 1, what happened? It's the same as n itself. So nc1 is n. So we're going to write this as n. This is p. To make it easier, right, I'm going to write this as q power n divided by q. Why? It's easier for me to cancel later. And you know, in indices, right, minus, you break it down, becomes divide here. Keep writing your 10. NC0 is 1. This is p power 0, which is 1. Q power n. Okay, can I not write this? I just write q, right? It's just q power n, right? Okay, we are very close to the answer already, because we want to show that this is true. And you notice, right, this q power n and q power n we can cancel. So you're left with np on the left. On the right, q, I times it over, I get 10q. Right, so with that, right, we can substitute your p. Okay, we know p plus q is 1. Yeah, probability of success, probability of failure, add together is 1. So p itself is 1 minus q. So with that, we can say, right, your n, what is your p now? We change to 1 minus q. The result is 10q. Yeah, guys, I've shown that this is true. All right. Moving on to part B. Hence or otherwise, find the value of P and Q if the mean is 6. Okay, I hope you know this. Mean is given by this formula, NP. All right, and your mean is NP, and NP is now 6. So from this equation, I use this one. From equation 1, what is your NP? NP is 6. 10Q. Can you find Q? 6 divided by 10. What is 6 divided by 10? 3 over 5. You can write 0.6. And remember, P plus Q is always 1. So P is 1 minus Q. So what's your P now? 1 minus 3 over 5. P is 2 over 5. Okay, moving on to question number 10. This question is quite tricky. It is actually this chapter, this from Form 5, Chapter 4, Permutation and Combination. So a lot of people wouldn't be able to see. The first part is actually combination. Read the question. A school bookstore is having a stock clearance promotion which involves 8 different pens and 10 different notebooks. And we will spend 24 ringgit in this promotion. Given table shows the price of a unit each item. So the pen costs 2 ringgit, notebook costs 4 ringgit. So find the number of different ways NV can buy the item if she wants to buy notebook only. Okay, so if you have 24 ringgit and you want to buy notebook, how many notebook can you buy? Come on, the notebook is 4 ringgit. How many notebook can you buy? 24 divided by 4 is 6 notebook. So if you can buy 6 notebook, you have how many notebook to choose from? 10. So the question says, how many different ways? Now, a lot of people couldn't see. It's actually a combination. It's not permutation. A lot of 10 different notebook. I'll buy any 6. Doesn't matter. I buy notebook 1 first, followed by notebook 3, followed by number 4. The order is not important. So what matters is, what are the notebooks that you have? How many combination of notebook you can get, right? So they didn't say how many combination, because if they say how many combination, it's very direct. People know. Maybe they should say how many selection of items. If they say selection, it's very clear. You know, selection, choosing, they're all combination, right? So it's 10 items, she choose any 6. 10 different notebook, she choose 6. Okay, type in calculator, 10 choose 6, you should get 210. Okay, that is part 1. Okay, part 2. The number of notebook is at most equals to the number of pen. Okay, now imagine this, you got 24 ringgit. You want to buy pen and a book. How many pen you want to buy? I don't know. How many notebook you want to buy? Again, you know. So we need to introduce an unknown. Let's say the pen is X. Notebook is Y. One pen costs 2 ringgit. So you buy, let's say, X pen is 2X. One notebook costs 4 ringgit. You bought like Y of them, so it's 4Y. Total is what? 24. You can spend 24 ringgit. Okay, so because we need to find out what is the combination of X and Y. So for me, I will divide everybody by 2. So it's X plus 2Y equals to 12. So we're going to substitute different values of X and Y. Okay, maybe we start with what? Remember, X is pen, Y is notebook. The easier way would be start with Y. Because if you start with X, right, you put X inside, then your Y going to divide by 2. Right, you're going to mentally divide by 2. So maybe you think of it like this. X equals to 12 minus 2Y. When your Y is 1, Y equals 1 means you buy 1 notebook. What is your X? 12 minus 2, 10. Question is, can we buy 10? No, pen is X. Can we buy 10 pen? Can I? Cannot? Cannot. Why? How many pens do you have? 8. How many notebook you have? 10. So, but I start with the smaller amount of notebook Y, because the question say the notebook is at most equals to the number of pen. So we know notebook is less. You don't want to start with notebook with big number. We start with smaller number. We start with the smallest is 1, right? So, but can this work? Cannot. Why cannot? Your X must be less than 8. Less equals to 8. So then we continue Y equals to 2. Imagine 12 minus 2 times 2. 12 minus 4. X is 8. Can work or not? Can work out? How about Y equals to 3? X equals to 12 minus 2 times 3, 6. So 6, right? Can work. How about Y equals to 4? X should be 12 minus 2 times 4, 8. Your Y is 4, X is to 4. Okay, should I continue with Y equals to 5? No. Why not? The question say, at most, maximum, notebook equals to pen. So you cannot do more than that. Now, I always like to list out this way. I got how many pen? 8. How many notebook? 10. Right? You can buy 2 notebook, 8 pen, 3 notebook, 6 pen, 4 notebook, 4 pen. So I do my calculation first. Yeah. Now I know some people say, is it necessary to do the linear equation? And all that? No, no, no. You can count mentally using brain and all that, right? The most important thing is all these figures are correct lah. But for me, I want to devise a method that everybody can understand, everybody will figure out, right? Some people do listing one by one, they test one by one, also can. Test one by one, maybe like for example, you say, oh, I know I got 24. I divide by, let's say I buy 5. Can I buy 5? Sorry, can I buy 6? Yeah, I bought 6 earlier, I see, isn't 6 earlier, right? So if I buy 5, let's say some people do like this, 5 times 4 is 20, 20, right? Then how many pens can I buy? How many pens can I buy? Or should I, you only get 24. How many pens can I buy? 2? Correct? That's 24. Isn't this distinct? One by one? Or you, better yet, why don't we just use linear equation? Yeah, this way, easier. Okay, anyway, come back to this. Let's write down our answer. 8 pen, choose 8. 10 notebook, choose 2. 8 pen, choose 6. 10 notebook, choose 3. 8 pen, choose 4. 10 notebook, choose 4 as well. Okay, now use your calculator, multiply them together. So it's 8C8. Actually, 8C8, no, you count. 8C8 is 1. 10C2. Alright, followed by 8C6. 8C6, 10C3. Followed by 8C4, 10C4. Yeah, answer is 18105. 18105. Okay. Okay, let's talk about question B. Okay, this question, right, is quite difficult for a lot of students because it's not very clear. No? So, okay, let me explain. Given diagram shows example of 5-character password formed by using letters and digits on the computer screen. Okay, find a number of different ways. If the first 3 character A8A without repetition. Okay, so you are finding 5 different 5 code, 5 letter of number character, 5 character password. So now question. If you can use letter and digit, you notice you can use capital letter, you can also use small letter. So if you can use capital letter and small letter, how many character, how many options do you have? Come on, should I say capital letter, how many options? How many options? 26, right? Small letter, how many options? 26, right? Number, how many options? Or digit, how many options? 10. Don't think it's 9. 0 to 9, there are 10 options. So total, how many options? Your total, right, number of options is 26 times 2 plus 10. Answer, 62. Correct? Your total is 62. But here's the thing. For part A, right, you need to form how many character? 5. But the first 3 already fixed. The first character has to be A. Second character has to be 8. Third character has to be small a. Already fixed. How about the last 2? Now, and the question mentioned here, without repetition. So if it's without repetition, you cannot use back the same method. So how many options do we have for this one? Come on. How many options left? You need to take 62 minus 3. You cannot use back this one. This one is already fixed. Already fixed. Now, if you want to, I will ask you, how many options do I have for this one? One capital A, put it in. One number 8, I put it in. One small letter, I put it in. One small a, I put it in. No other way, right? This one will be 59. This will be 58. Why 59, guys? Why 59? 62 minus 3. Why minus 3? I've taken this 3 out. I can't reuse it. Right? So the number of ways, right? We can write 59 times 58 or 59p2. Okay, 59 P2. So 59 P2 also can. Out of 59, I choose any 2. 3, 4 to 2. 3, 4 to 2 is. Alright, part A. Okay. So to say part A very challenging, not really lah, but some people may not understand what the question wants. Right? Small letter, large letter, capital letter, there are 26 letters in our alphabet system times 2. Then you plus 10 possible number, and then you subtract. Okay? Right? Now, B. The first character must be non-vowel capital letter, followed by at least 2 prime number placed adjacently. Now, I personally find this question is not clear. Why? Did they say with repetition or without repetition? No. So if they don't mention, what must you assume? Come on. What must you assume? With or without repetition? So here's the question, right? Do you know if the question don't mention, should you assume there's repetition or without repetition? So it's a question mark, you know. So what they want is with repetition, right? So, or with repetition allowed, right? So by right, they should mention clearly. So the student don't get confused. Can I repeat or can I not repeat? Because your part A already say without repetition. Chances are high, a lot of people would tend to do without repetition. Because your part A mentioned without repetition. Okay, so it should be stated with repetition allowed. Okay, the next question is this. Non-vowel capital letter. What is a non-vowel capital letter? Okay, non-vowel means what? I wouldn't like to say non-vowel. I would like to say consonant, right? It's like, oh, how many ways to choose non-girl? Why can't you say boys? Right? Why must you say non-girls? Yeah, there's other gender outside girls as well, right? Now, okay, anyway, besides boy. Okay, so non-vowel in this case, we are referring to consonant. Okay, in our alphabet system, 26 letter, how many vowels? 5. A, E, I, O, U. Now, some people say sometimes Y. Okay, we just A, I, O, U. So your number of non-vowel, which is consonant, and is capital, is 26 minus 5, which is 21. Right? Now, here's the problem. They say when you see the word at least, right, means you have more than one option. They say followed by 2 prime number placed adjacently. Okay, so let's start with the consonant. Okay, let me write down the first case, and you try to see whether this makes sense or not. We start with 2 prime number, exactly 2 prime number. Okay. So non-vowel capital letter is, I'll just write C lah, consonant. How many ways? 21. You don't have to consider, you don't times 2 lah, because vowel, when I say non-vowel consonant, they're only, and it's capital. Capital is only 26, right? We don't consider small letter. How about the rest? Second one followed by prime number and prime number. Okay, now let's look at prime number. How many prime numbers do we have? From 0 to 9, how many prime numbers? Okay, prime numbers are number that can be divisible by itself. 1, the smallest prime number is 2. Next one, 3. Next one, 5. Next one, 7. So number of prime number is what? 4. So I put the 2 prime. So this one's 4. Here's the thing. A lot of people write 3. A lot of people write 3. Because a lot of people in the mind, they see part A without repetition, they think part B without repetition. Yeah, so like I said, the question should be better. They mention with repetition allowed. So students clearly know that this is still 4. Okay, now the question says at least 2 prime number placed adjacently. So now the next cannot be prime number. Why? If you put prime number, there are a lot of possibilities, right? Because I want to do 2 prime number, 3 prime number, 4 prime number. Okay. Okay, maybe I say 2 prime number adjacent. Adjacent means next to each other. Okay, the third should be non-prime number. Okay, how many non-prime number do you have? Guys, how many non-prime number do you have? Non-prime number. Total to how many cases? 62, right? You minus prime number how many? 4. Answer? 58. So this is 58. The next one, can you have prime number? Hey, can we have prime number? Can. Because the question says two prime number adjacent. Okay, now maybe can I have prime, prime, non-prime, and next one can be prime as well. It can be prime. It can be also non-prime. So your fourth one can be anything. Okay, let me write here. It can be anything. Right. You can use back prime or non-prime number. Yeah. What matters is the first two are adjacent. Third one and fourth one can be anything. I mean, third one must be non-prime. Last one can be any. Okay, any is how many? 62. All right. Okay. Let me list out all the cases, then add together, because I don't want to like write so many total. Okay, case number 2. Now you have 3 prime numbers that are adjacent. I just put adjacent. Yeah, I don't write so many things. So I put a blank, 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 blank. First one is consonant. Next one, prime, prime, prime. Okay, can I say any here? Guys, can I say any here? No. I must say non-prime. Why? This is exactly 3 prime next to each other. Correct? Okay, by the way, some people say, Terry, can you put like any and then 2 prime here? Cannot, because the question says follow by. So this is also a confusing thing for a lot of people, right? Follow by. What do you mean by follow by? After capital letter must be straight away prime number, right? So you cannot put any. You cannot put non-prime. Okay? All right. So come back to this capital 21, prime 4, prime 4, prime 4, non-prime 58. Okay? Third case, case number 3. So you can have 4 prime numbers that are adjacent. Okay, so we draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is consonant, prime, 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 prime. So this one is easy. 21, 4, 4, 4, 4. Okay, now let's add them together. I don't want to write so many steps, so I'm going to write 21 times 4 times 4 times 58 times 62. First case. Right, let me move this over a bit to the right, no space. Okay, second one. Or should I write below? Okay, I write below. Below, more space. 21 times 4 times 4 times 4 times 58. Next one, 21 times 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. You can write 21 power 4. And what's your answer? Okay, let me just use my calculator on one shot. So this will be 21 times 4 square. I just use 4 square in my calculator, 58, 62. Next one, 21 times 4 cube times 58. Next one, 21 times 4 power 4. My answer is 1291584. 1291584. Right? Okay, we're going to move on to question 11. This is from chapter 4, form 4, indices and logarithms. Particularly, this is actually surds. Okay, now here you're given a triangle ABC. BC is given as 2 minus x. AB is surd x. AD is 1 plus surd 2. AD squared is 1 plus surd 2. Show that x exists. Okay, number one, they say BC is 2 plus x. So you can say right in the triangle. We need to find BD first. How to find BD? We use Pythagoras. So let me start with BD squared. Take the longest side, 2 plus x. You square it minus the other side, 2 minus x squared. I'm going to expand the bracket. This is 4 plus 4x plus x squared minus 4 minus 4x plus x squared. Okay, expand the bracket. 4 plus 4x plus x squared minus 4 plus 4x minus x squared. So can we cancel this? 4 and minus 4, right? Can we cancel x squared and x squared? Now your BD square is left with what? 8x. Okay, you're going to square root 8. Square root 8 is what? Okay, you can use calculator, although sometimes you need to show you're working, but this is like very little marks given. Set 8 is what? 2 set 2. Yeah, if you're really concerned that you may lose mark, you put 4 times 2 times x, then this is 2 set 2x. Okay, right. Now, I've got BD already. So BD is 2 set 2 with the x. Now, this one is the whole thing together. See this? Yeah, or you may just leave it at set 8x, but we still need to simplify further on, right? Okay, now next, this AD, right? If you square it, it's this. So what's your AD? Your AD is set x plus 2 set 2x. Be careful, the set is all together, square it. The result is, what do you write here? 1 plus set 2. Okay, maybe I should just leave it as set 8. It's easier. Okay, but anyway, I will just go on and square it. Set x, if I square it, is x. 2ab. So it's going to look like this. 2 times 2 is 4. Set x times set x is x. There is another set 2x. And take this and you square it. 2 square is 4. Set 2 square is 2. The result is 1 plus set 2. Okay or not okay? Can we simplify further? This is a, right? A plus 1 is 9. 9x plus 4 set 2x equals to 1 plus set 2. Factorize this. You get 9 plus 4 set 2. Sorry, this is ugly. Plus 4 set 2. This is 1 plus set 2. What is your x? 1 plus set 2 over 9 plus 4 set 2. Okay, can we straight away use our calculator and do this? Answer is no, you can't, guys, but I just want to show you this to see whether we are on the right track. We're on the right track, right? So up to here, my working is correct. I know I'm correct. I just have to show the working to get the last answer. So here we're going to simplify by multiplying top and bottom with its conjugate. The conjugate of 9 plus 4 set 2 is 9 minus 4 set 2. So let me expand one by one. So it looks like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 times 9 is 9. 1 times 4 set 2, 4 set 2. 9 set 2. Negative 4. Set 2 times set 2 is 2. Divide 9 square is 81. 4 square is 16. Set 2 square is 2. Okay, let me just continue from here. Okay, 9 minus 8 is 1. Minus 4 plus 9 is 5. 81 minus 80, this is, 81 minus 32 is 49. So there you go. I know my answer is correct. Okay, moving on to Form 4 Chapter 5 progression. So this one we have to derive. The diagram shows a shaded right angle triangle patterns of a net of a rectangular roll of paper. Alright, so it's given that the length of the base of the first triangle is A. Alright, length of subsequent one increased by D, so it's A plus D, increased by one more A plus 2D, and so on. Now we are supposed to derive the length of base of the N triangle. Okay, now you can write it horizontally, you can write it vertically, up to you. Actually, I like to write it vertically, but you may have to write in 2 rows, right? Because you've done this in your mod maths logical reasoning. We call it deriving, we call it what? Making conclusion by induction. Do you remember? No. Okay, so let's start with the first one. I write vertically. You can write horizontally. T1 is what? What is T1? A. What's your T2? T2 is what? A plus D. What's your T3? A plus 2D. What's your T4? A plus 3D. You keep increasing your, what do you call that? The length of the base by D. But if you write this alone, it's not enough. You cannot conclude that this is true. So we need to add in your N minus 1. So you see, the first one, how many D do you have? Can I add here? 0D. How many D here? Let me just add in here. I just want to write the 1D here. So let me continue by writing A plus. Okay, how do you get 0? How do you get 0? This is 1 minus 1D. You need to link it back with this D, with this N. Your N is 1, so this is 1. Then you continue with D2 equals to A plus 2 minus 1D. Then you write D3 equals to A plus 3 minus 1D. D4 equals to A plus and 4 minus 1D. Now, I know some people may say, how many must you write? Well, I follow the diagram. Diagram give me 4. So I write after 4. Fourth term, right? So with that, we say Tn is A plus n minus 1D. Yeah, so we write twice. You write this alone is not enough because you need to show how you get your n minus 1 by induction. Okay, let's move on to part B. Yeah? Now, on the net, the 31st purple colored triangle on N is the last triangle with the area of 72. So what we are saying is this one. This is the last one. The area is 72. Right? I need to find, okay, the value of D. You're given that A is 30D. You're supposed to find D. Okay, first of all, I want to know the height is 12. You can see, I go back to this one, you can see that height is 12, right? The last has an area of 72. So what's the formula for, okay, before that, can we find out what is the length of the 31st triangle? This is B, Roman 1. What's the length of the 31st one? What's the formula? A plus n minus 1, which is what? 30D. Right? Now this is the length of your base. And we say half times base times height is 72. A plus 30D is what? 72 divided by 12 is 6. Right? 6. Well, 72 divided by 6, also 12. Equation 1. Then you have the second equation. What's your A? A is 30D. Equation 2. Where do I get this from? Here. From here. Right? A is 30D. So we are going to sub 2 in 1. Yeah. 30D plus 30D equals to 12. 60D is 12. D is 12 divided by 60, 1 over 5. Or you can write 0.5. 0.2. 1 over 5 is 0.2. Okay, okay, this part I think it's not too difficult. Okay. Now, next one is not so much progression. It's more like, simple mathematics. But it's not so simple because you have to read and understand the situation here. Zul wants to send number of rolls of paper to his friends through a courier company. The given table shows the information related to the parcel delivery charges. All right. So now for the first 0 to 2.5 kg, you pay 9 ringgit. Every subsequent 500 kg, 500 gram, you pay 1.2 ringgit. So the question is, he has 15 ringgit. How many kg can he deliver? So if you have 15 ringgit, right? They want a maximum number of rolls that he can send. Let's start with 15 ringgit. You minus 9. Why minus 9? You want to send as much as possible, right? As heavy as possible, as many paper as you can. So 9 ringgit if it's 2.5 kg. So if you minus 9, you're left with what? 6. 6 what? 6 ringgit. With 6 ringgit, how many more gram or kg can you send? Every 1.2, every 500 gram, you send 1.2. You pay 1.2. So you need to divide by 1.2. Okay. If you cannot understand this, right? 15 ringgit minus 9 left is 6. So you got 6 ringgit, 6 ringgit left, correct? Okay. Every 1.2 ringgit, 1 ringgit 20 cents, you can send another 500 gram. So when you divide by 6, what do you get? Tell me. 6 divided by 1.2. Should I say 5? 5, right? Am I right? 5? Okay, that means you can send another 5 of 500. Now I know it sounds a bit confusing. This one is 5. That means how many kg can you send? Number of kg is, okay, number of kg, should I say mass? The mass is 2.5 kg. Because you pay 9 ringgit, you get 2.5 kg. But every 500 gram is 0.5 kg, you get 5 parts of it. So what is this? 2.5 plus 2.5. Answer? 5 kg. Understand? So sometimes some people think just divide, you get 5, so this is 5. No. This 5 represents what? I got 5 parts of 500 gram. Right? So that means I can send another 2.5 kg, isn't it? I can send another 2.5 kg here. I can send 2.5 kg here. Total, I can send 5 kg. Okay? Now, next, another way of thinking is this, guys. If you find, tell you this is very confusing. Okay, wait, I can find a general formula, like involving function. It looks like this. Okay, but this one is very long. First, you pay 9 ringgit. Every subsequent amount that you pay above 2.5 kg, right, you need to pay, how much you have to pay? 120. Think of it as this, 120. Can you see that? So how much he has? He has 15 ringgit, right? So 15 ringgit plus, this is 9, x minus 2.5 times 1.2. So you bring over 15 minus 9 divided 1.2 plus 2.5, you get your x. What's your x? Your x is, did I write only? 3, 6 divide 2.5, okay, 5. Okay, I shouldn't, okay, sorry, this one I wrote, this is the mass, right? This is the price. Anything more than that, you pay this amount. So x should be, did I count wrongly here? 1.2, you pay 1.2. 6, 5. Okay, my formula may not be right. Wait. So this one you got to divide by 0.5 because this is for every 500 gram. Yeah, but I don't think you guys will do this. Yeah, I don't think anybody will do this. It's very long. You probably understand the first method better because the second method I have to use a formula here, right? Why do I divide 1.2? To find how many parts of 500 gram you have to pay, right? So you must multiply this. Why? Because this is 6 divide 1.2. That means you have 5 parts of 500 gram. So that's why you must multiply 0.5. So that means you can send another 2.5 kg. You plus with another 2.5 kg, you get your x. What's your x? Your x is 5 kg. Yeah, x is your weight. Fx is the price. Okay, so if you find this very confusing, just use this. Just use the first method. Okay, so the maximum mass that you can send is 5 kg, right? But how many roll can you send? So each total area. Now we know there are 31 parts to it. Just now we already showed until 31. And we need to find the sum of your base, which is the length here. We call it S31, multiply with your height, which is 12. So let's find out total length of your base. Maybe I write here, total length of your base, okay, which is S31 times, or should I write area sorry? We find area area times the height, area, total area is S31 times 12. S31 was the formula, n over 2. 2a, what's your a? Okay, I need to calculate my a. 30 times 1 over 5, that is 6. Okay, n minus 1, 31 minus 1. What's your common difference? 1 over 5. You multiply by 12 to find the total area of one piece, one row. Okay, so let's take 31 over 2. Okay, let me do it again. 31 over 2, bracket 2a. What's your a? 6, n minus 1, 30. D is 1 over 5. I just divide 5. I take this your S31. here 279. Let me show you one more step. 279 I times with 12. So area for one row is 3348. 3348. Say area for one row. Okay, one row has this mass. Okay, right? Per cm square is this mass. But if you 1 cm square is this, your total mass should be what? Total mass will be 3348 times 4 times 10 power negative 5. So take this times 4 times 10 power negative 5. This will be 0.13392. 0.13392 what kg. So one roll has this weight, or 34 gram if you like. Okay, so remember, he can put maximum 5 kg. So this is total mass for one roll. If you want to find how many roll he can send, take 5 kg, divide 0.13392. Okay, calculator, 5 divided by this answer. What do you get? 37.34. Right? Now, if you get 37.34, what should I take? What's your maximum? Maximum is 37. That 37 row. You can't send more than that. Why? Because you can only send 37.34. You can't do 38. You can only do 37. Question number 13. This is from 5 chapter 6 trigonometry. Trigonometric function. So diagram shows angle theta on a Cartesian plane. On the diagram, label the position of negative theta. Okay, theta is clockwise. Anti-clockwise, this is called anti-clockwise. If you go clockwise, which direction? This direction. Okay, you may have to change or adjust this. So this will write this as P, because your x coordinate is the same. P to the right, down by Q, minus Q. And we label this as negative theta. Okay, that's it. Your diagram is correctly. Now, this is Roman 1. Roman 2, state the value of tangent negative theta. Okay, remember, tangent is a ratio of opposite over adjacent. Or you can say your y over your x. Okay, if you look at this, I draw this line for you so you understand that this is actually your p value. This is your p, right? Sorry, this is your q value. This one is q. Okay, p is the length from here to here. Q is your y value. This is negative q. So this is your q, right? Now we put negative because it's going downwards, right? So what is your tangent? Your tangent is your y divided by your x. Answer, negative q over p. That's all. Okay. You don't need to label this on your diagram. I just want to show you, but maybe I should rub this off because why? I don't want you guys to give this as part of the answer, because your answer, the first part they say, draw, right, and show the position. So this is the position. Just make it clean. This is your answer. But maybe don't add anything else extra, right? Okay. But remember, tangent is your opposite over adjacent. Your opposite is q. Your y value. Adjacent is p. Now here put a negative because your y value is negative. Yeah. Okay. Moving on to part B. Solve this equation. Okay. Cos x. Okay. What is cotangent? Cotangent is cos over sine. I'm going to multiply my sine up. So 2 cos x sine x equals to sec 3 cos x. Bring over to the left. 2 cos x sine x minus sec 3 cos x equals to 0. Alright, now we will factorize. Take out what? Take out cos x. This is 2 sine x minus sec 3 equals to 0. Cos x is either 0 or sine x is sec 3 over 2. Okay, so when you solve this, right, for cos x equals 0, usually we just use the graph. Graph is the fastest. The graph of cos is such that it goes down and up like this. So you know that it has, this one is in degree, yeah? So we give our answer is degree. If you subdivide, this is 180, this is 90, This is 270. So what is your x value? When your cos is 0. Yeah, this is your y equals cos x. Right? Your x value will be here at 90 at 270. Because at 90, 270, the cos value is 0. This is 1, negative 1. So we say x is 90, 270. But for sine x equals to sec 3/2, we have to use the reference angle. So guys, use your calculator. Calculator in degree mode. If you don't do anything, your calculator, generally, they're in degree mode. There's a D here. Shift sine sec 3 divide by 2. You should get 60. Right? So right now, your reference angle, second one, reference angle is 60. Sine is positive in quadrant 1 and quadrant 2. Remember your ASTC, all science teacher crazy. A stands for all. S, all means sine, cos, tangent, all positive. S means sine positive. So sine is positive in quadrant 1 and quadrant 2. So if it falls in quadrant 1, your answer is just 60. If it falls in quadrant 2, we need to go from here to here, which is 180 minus 60. So let's work out the two answers, 60 and 120. So all in all, you have found the answer? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 answers. Okay? All right. Now, next, I want you to look at your part C. All right? Yeah. Okay, part C. Given that tangent M is P, such that M is reflex angle, express cos pi over 3 minus M in terms of P. Okay, so let me do this first. Yeah, let me do this first. Yeah. Okay, so we need to draw. They say M is reflex. Okay, tangent is positive in which quadrant? Tangent is positive in quadrant 1 and quadrant 3. A and T. Reflex means more than 180, less than 360. Reflex can be quadrant 3, quadrant 4. So when you draw this, right, we should draw your M in quadrant 3. And when we write tangent M equals P, means P over 1. Opposite is P, adjacent is 1. But because this is on the left-hand side, you need to put a negative in front of your P and 1. Okay, so to find a hypotenuse, how do you do this? You take negative P square plus negative 1 square square root. We can write this as square root of P square plus 1. This is square root of P square plus 1. Your hypotenuse is always positive, everyone. Your hypotenuse cannot be negative. So I got my triangle right. You need to get the triangle, draw the triangle to find your sine and cos value. Okay, now we need to express cos of pi over 3 minus M in terms of P. So we use the addition formula. Okay, let me write down the formula. Cos A minus B, when you expand this formula is given in the exam in SPM, is cos A cos B plus sine A sine B. So we write this as cos pi over 3 cos M minus, when you expand, becomes plus. For cos, minus here, you expand becomes plus. So it's sine, cos sine. So second one will be sine pi over 3 sine M. Okay, for cos pi over 3 is cos 60. You can use your calculator. Yeah, normally we say memorize the special angle, but now with this calculator, you're allowed to use calculator. You can just change your calculator mode to radian. That will help you. Radian, right? So we type sine. Let me start with cos pi over 3. Cos 60 is cos pi over 3. You should get 1 over 2. So 1 over 2. For cos M, I read from the triangle. Remember, for this triangle, we're going to read the reference angle here. The small angle here is your reference angle. Your general angle is M. Your reference angle, let me call it alpha. Cos is your adjacent. This is your adjacent. This is your opposite. This is your hypotenuse. So my adjacent is, let me write this here. My adjacent is negative 1. Hypotenuse is square root P squared plus 1. For sine pi over 3, I'm going to use my calculator again. Sine, just change the cos here to sine. Sine pi over 3 is sine 60, which is sec 3 over 2. Right? Sec 3 over 2. Sine M, I can read from here, your opposite divide hypotenuse. The opposite is negative b. Hypotenuse is square root of b squared plus 1. So what we need to do is to put them together. Now notice, right, there's half, there's a third 2, the half I put outside here, there's a third b squared plus 1, there's a third 3 here. So we can write this as minus 1 minus third 3b, and there you go, that's your answer. If you want, you can factorize the negative, right? So if you don't factorize negative, it's fine. Factorize the negative means you take out negative here, you put 1 plus 3b over 2 square root b squared plus 1. You can do that, okay? Okay, question number 14. This is Form 4, Chapter 2, Quadratic Function. So here diagram shows a curve quadratic, the curve of a quadratic function. Such as h and k are constant, the curve has a minimum point at t. Determine the range of values of x for which fx is more than 0. See, we know fx is more than 0 here and here. But the problem is, do you know what's your root here? I don't. So we know roots, right? If you know your roots, you can find this. What do you call this, anyone? Axis of symmetry. So we can let the roots be what? The roots will be minus 2 and call it alpha. We know your axis of symmetry is given. So minus 2 plus alpha divided by 2 is negative 1 over 4. We can solve for alpha, right? So I times over minus 2 plus alpha is negative half. 2 minus half alpha is 3 over 2. So it's important that you find this, your alpha first. Your alpha is 3 over 2. So in order for your fx to be more than 0, okay, so for fx more than 0, so what are the range of values? So we can move this down. You can see your x value is either less than negative 2 or more than 3 over 2. You don't have to redraw the graph because the graph is already given. Just use the result. You can see, so what is your alpha? What is your x? X is either less than minus 2 or more than 3 over 2. Okay, that is part E. All right, let me do part B over here. Prove that k is greater than that. Okay, when you're given this equation, right, how do you prove your k is more than this? So sometimes a lot of people don't know where to start. Okay. What is the equation or inequality? Because you see there's an inequality here that links h and k together. Do you know? Anyone? Look at the graph. How many real roots do you have? 2. What is the equation that determines the number of real roots? We call it what? Discriminant. What is that? b squared minus 4ac. So your b squared minus 4ac is more than 0 because you have 2 real roots. Okay, so we can sub in. What's your b? Okay, your a, you know, right? Your a is 2. Your b is h. Your a is 2. Your c is minus 2k plus 5. The result is more than 0. Our job is to find k. So let me expand this first. H squared minus minus becomes plus. 8 times 2 is 16k. Minus 40, more than 0. We're very close to this answer. Look at this answer. We're almost there, right? So we just have to make who as a subject? K as a subject. So I bring 40 over. I bring h squared over. I divide by 16. 40 minus h squared over 16. There you go. You got your your k in terms of h. All right. Okay, C. Using the method of completing the square, find the minimum value of function fx in terms of k. Okay, now we're going to complete the square. Okay, remember in completing the square, first step, you need to factorize. Let's take out your 2. You're left with x squared plus h over 2x. Now, your minus 2k plus 5, I like to keep it outside. You want to divide by 2 also can, but it's just that a lot more fraction, so I prefer to leave it outside. Okay. Next, we're going to add a number. Now remember, when you add a number, you must show your working. This is h over 2 divided by 2. I know, very annoying, right? You add first, you square it, you minus the same number of, you square it, close bracket, minus 2k plus 5. Okay, for those who are not sure, h over 2, when you divide by 2, is the same as h over 2 times 1 over 2, which gives us h over what? H over 4. So when you complete the square, so we can put these 3 together, these 3, let me highlight for you, into a single bracket. But I'm going to write this as x plus h over 4, close bracket square. And you need to always minus the additional term that you add here, this one. H over 2, h over 4, when I square it, is h squared over 16 minus 2k plus 5. Okay, let me move on a bit. Now from here, we need to multiply the 2 back inside. There's a 2 of x plus h over 4 square minus h squared over 8. Why 8? 2 and 16, you times and you cancel them off. Left with h squared over 8. Then followed by minus 2k plus 5. Okay, how do you know whether it's minimum, maximum? Actually, we know by looking at your a, like coefficient of x squared, which is what? More than 0, less than 0? More than 0, right? Now, you don't actually need to show this because why? The question already says minimum, and the graph even is also minimum. And the minimum value is the one outside the bracket, which you can write this as h squared minus h squared over 8 plus, sorry, this is minus 2k plus 5. There you go. That's your answer. We're not done yet because the question says give your answer in terms of k. So if you want to give your answer in terms of k, that means you must know your h value, right? Okay, guys, go back to your equation. Do you know one information that you get from here is what is this? What do you call this? Axis of symmetry. Now, as we completed the square earlier, can you tell me what's your axis symmetry? Based on this. Look at this. What's the axis symmetry? So this is a minimum when the one inside the bracket is 0, x plus h over 4 is 0, x is negative, h over 4. Now we know from our graph that our axis of symmetry is negative 1 over 4. So I'm going to write this as negative 1 over 4 equals to negative h over 4. Can we cancel? What's your h? Your h is 1. So, correct? We're going to take 1 and sub inside here. So what's your minimum? My minimum will be negative 1 squared over 8 minus 2k plus 5. So 8 times 5 is 40. 40 minus 1 is 39 over 8 minus 2k. Actually, we can leave it like this. Or if you want, you can combine it, but I think it's not necessary. You can combine it and write 39 minus 16k over 8. Yeah, but I think it's okay to leave it here. Right? Okay, question number 15. This is Form 4, Chapter 7, Coordinate Geometry. So here we are supposed to show unit divisor of line segment. Now we are supposed to show that your y is this. Okay, now what can we do here? We have to use what we call similar triangle. So I'm going to draw a line here. This is your x1. This is your y1. This is your x. This is your y. This is y. I hope you, okay, sorry, maybe my diagram has been drawn wrongly. This is x and y. This is x and y. B is xy. Okay. This is C, x2, x2, y2, x2, y2. Okay. So x2, this is your y2. Okay, actually we don't have to show your x value because what we are concerned about is your y, not your x. Okay, look at this triangle, small triangle here. What is the difference in your y? Your difference in your y is y minus y1. Then I want you to look at the big triangle, the blue one. Look at the big blue one. What is the difference in your y? y2 minus y. So you're supposed to show that y is this. The ratio is m is to n. So we can use similar triangle. That is, take the y value. Maybe I start with the small one. the y minus y1, if you take the corresponding side, which is y2 minus y, I divide them. You take the smaller one, the ratio is m. The larger one, what's the ratio? The ratio is n. You're supposed to show that y equals to this. So let's cross multiply. ny minus ny1 equals to my2 minus my1. Okay, sorry, I think I wrote this wrongly. Sorry, this is y2 minus y. I wrote this wrong. y2 minus y, y2 minus y. So we are supposed to find what? We're supposed to find y. Okay, so group your y together, transfer this to the left, this to the right. So you write m first. I'm going to write m first. my plus ny equals to ny1 plus my2. Then you factorize your y. Take the y outside. ny1 plus my2. Divide everybody by m plus n. ny1 plus my2 over m plus n. So this is a question, right? Guys, came out in SPM many times, so previously also. So you just have to do it once, do it twice, you remember. Yeah, you need practice. If they ask you x, is the same thing. If they ask you x, then we use what? X minus x1, x2 minus x equals to m over n. As you cross multiply, simplify, you're going to get the same answer. Just that you change your y to x. That's about it. Okay. All right. Now I want to read part B. Part B is locus. Now these locus are a bit annoying because normally in SPM, all this while they ask three. In your textbook, I only have three types of locus: constant distance from 2 points. Sorry, constant distance from a fixed point. Constant ratio, equidistant from 2 points. Constant ratio from 2 points. Right? They can also ask 90 degrees from a point, and this one is actually constant distance from a point and a line. Yeah, should I say equidistant from a point line? So it's not really in SPM syllabus, it's like more like SPM, but we can use the SPM concept to do it, right? So it's a bit unfair if they ask this in SPM. Okay, come, let's start. So P moves such that distance from point R is 2.5 times the distance from y-axis. So to help you to understand better, I'm going to draw it out. Where's 3, 2, and minus half? 3 over 2. 3 over 2 is maybe here. Okay, I put it a bit further down. This is 3 over 2. Let's say negative half. This is the first point. This is point R. Okay? Now, they say distance from this point is 2.5 times distance from y-axis. Okay, so let's say, I don't know where's my P. Let me take my P to be here. Right, this is P. P is a locus. Okay, P is xy. Okay, sorry, very ugly. P is, okay, I need to draw this a bit lower. This is P, x, y. So this is my distance from point R. It is always 2.5 times its distance from y-axis. Okay, how do you find the distance from a point to a line? The shortest distance from a point to a line is your perpendicular distance. This distance, right? Okay, now if you look at this coordinate, this is actually your x, this is your y. Okay? Fair enough, this is x and y. So, now, tell me, what is the distance from here to here? The distance from here to here is x itself. Isn't it x itself? Distance y-axis. Whereas this distance PR we can find. Okay, now even if you don't draw, you can actually use locus, but I know some people may find height. You can use distance formula to do it. So it works like this. Distance from point R P to R is 2.5 times distance from y-axis. Okay, y-axis, sometimes people don't know what to label. You can use the idea, okay, I use a symbol, n. Why I use n? N is your normal, right? 2.5 times of Pn. Pn is a distance. You don't want to call it n, you can call use other symbol. Okay, we're going to use distance formula. P is xy minus your r. 3 over 2 square. Y. Okay, be careful. Nowadays, they want you to write step by step. Minus, minus. Don't write plus. Minus, minus square. This is 2.5. If you want, because I'm not going to square it, so I prefer to write 5 over 2. Okay, for Pn, right? Actually, guys, what is the length Pn? Pn is just x. The Pn is from here to here. It's just x, right? Isn't it? I say this one more time. If this is xy, this is x. The distance from here to here is just x, isn't it? Right? But if your answer is okay, you can just use a formula for distance, because we know, let's say n is a normal, right? Let's say n. N will be what? N, the coordinate for n will be 0, y. It shares the same y value, right? So you can say x minus 0 square plus y minus y square, because your n is 0, 1. N has the same y coordinate as p. You can write like this. Yeah? Okay, then I'm going to square both sides. The more I square both sides, the square will disappear. Expand this, x squared minus 2 times 3 over 2 times x. So it's 3x. 3 squared is 9 over 4. This one is positive, y squared plus y plus 1 over 4. 5 I squared it, 25. 4 I squared it is 2 I squared is 4. This one is x squared square root, because your y is 0, so this is x squared. Yeah, so this is just x. Okay, picture this. X squared plus 0 is x, right? Square root x squared, just x. Okay? Now, fraction is a bit annoying, so what I do? Multiply everybody by 4. So 4x squared minus 12, this is 12. Let me simplify this. 12x plus 9 plus 4y squared plus 4y plus 1 equals 25x. Okay, rearrange 4x squared, 4y squared minus 37x plus 4y plus 10 equals 0. Oh yeah, I made the mistake here, because when you square both sides, right, this is x squared. Yeah, this is x squared. Sorry, I made a mistake here. Because square root x, right, the more you square it is x squared. So, okay, let me just change this. We need to bring everything to the right-hand side. Normally, we write x followed by x squared first, followed by y squared and the rest. So, I throw everything over to the right. 25x squared minus 4x squared is 21x squared. You minus 4y squared, followed by 12x. I'm throwing everything to the right-hand side. Minus 4y, 9 plus 1 is 10. Bring over is negative 10. This is your answer. Now, actually, what is this actually? It's actually a quadratic, but you can't see it. It's okay. We'll just leave it here. Don't need to simplify. Yeah. The last part C. This is related to area. Yeah, area of triangle or quadrilateral. Okay, diagram shows four PQRS, four points. And it is given that W is a locus, WXY is a locus that moves such that the distance from P and R are always equal. So it's equidistant. So P and R is here. Equidistant from 2 points. What shape is it? Equidistant from 2 points is actually what we call a perpendicular bisector. So W is a perpendicular bisector. Right? They say area of quadrilateral PQRS is 60. Okay, where's PQRS? So let me just join together. PQ. Okay, very ugly one more time. PQ R S. Okay, one more time. So this is a quadrilateral, right? Okay, they say area of quadrilateral is 60. Find the y-intercept of straight line PQ. Okay, what is your y-intercept of straight line PQ? Do you know? I don't know. You know, notice that you don't know point R. You don't know point P. But we know P should be, let's say, 0, 1. It should be in this form. Now, the reason why they give us this locus is to tell us that this locus here, this line, it divides this quadrilateral to how many parts? 2 equal parts. Because it's a perpendicular bisector. So if this is a perpendicular bisector, this area of PQS should be what? Half of PQRS. So your area of PQS, let me write here, area of PQS should be half of 60. Half of 60 is what? 30. You can write 30, right? Okay, but how do you find PQS? Okay, for PQS, right, I prefer to use anti-clockwise. If you use clockwise, you need to use negative. If you use anti-clockwise, it should be positive. So let me start with P. What's your P? 0, y. I use S. S is what? 8, 9. What is Q? 2, 12. Repeat the first point. Okay, this is your, we call it a determinant. It's a determinant of a matrix. So I like to just write half of 60 and I can cancel this two. Yeah, I want to cancel this two. So it's 60, right? So let us multiply downwards, minus multiply upwards. Okay, so when you multiply downwards, this is 0 times 9. Guys, you got to show your working. The SPM, they want you to write all this to y minus the other way around, y times 8 plus 9 times 2 plus 12 times 0. Okay, in this case, I can just remove my modulus. Okay, now if you're not sure, then you do both. Because if you're not sure about clockwise or anti-clockwise, then just keep the modulus, do both, right? I'm not doing both because I'm choosing clockwise direction. Okay, so let me write here, I choose clockwise direction. When you choose clockwise direction, it is positive. So you don't have to do both, right? This is 96 plus 2y. This is 8y plus 18 equals 60. 2y minus 8y is 6y, negative. 96 minus 18. 88, right? Is it 88? Sorry, it's 78. Yeah, 78. So the result is 60. So bring over 6y is 78 minus 60 is 18. Y is 3. So what is your y-intercept? Your y-intercept is just 3. Okay, y-intercept of point P. Okay, the way this question is a bit tricky, it's not so straightforward. Yeah, you have to understand the concept, right, of perpendicular bisector. Yeah, so you half your area to 60, half of 60 is to 30, and then you find your area, right? We have to let your P be 0, y first. And if, like I say, if you don't know, you can do both at clockwise and anti-clockwise, put a plus minus to two set of answer. But since I choose clockwise direction, it can only be positive 60 here. So for y, my y is 3. All right, I hope you all learned something from this discussion. Thank you for joining and watching this video. Right, I hope to see you guys in our next video.